Okay, in 1995, I was doing my PhD study in United States. Of course, I experienced a lot of cultural shock. Okay, one of the most memorable one, which still ring aloud in my mind, is the image of reading. Whenever I was on a bus, I always see people reading with a book. And you can tell that they are so engaged in the reading that they hardly notice the presence of others. Reading takes the reader to a brand new world. And I remember that when I was a child, the first novel that I read, being the oldest child in the house, I always need to help mom make fire and attend the stove for hours and help her prepare the dinner. And these are really boring jobs for a little kid like me. But reading is the magic that takes me to fly in a brand new world, to breathe for fresh air and free myself from those harsh reality in the real life. But then, when I began study, in junior high, senior high, and graduate school, college, and rarely have time for reading except reading for survival. And on the day I got my PhD degree, I said to myself, from now on, I'm going to free myself from those boring reading. I'm going to enjoy myself reading for pleasure. That's something that I did in my childhood. So this is what I tried in the first year when I was a professor at NCKU. I started with my favorite author's book, Abraham McGee's Cutting for Stones. It's a story about two kids, two brothers who became medical doctors. And this is a 6 volume. It has 53 chapters in 667 pages. And what I did is, first I cut off the volume into chapters so that they were easy for me to carry. So I tried to squeeze the time in, for some pages when I was traveling or when I was sitting on the toilet. Okay, and 1 year later, I find myself still in chapter 1. And the situation got worse because I was so slaved into my job, and I have suffered from eye problems and stress. So I almost gave up reading until this date, July 4th, 2009. Do you know what day that is? Yes, on the independent days of America, my life becomes dependent on reading. From that day on until now, I have read 60 books written in English. Before I share with you my magic, first I'd like to know what is reading to you. Okay, how many of you has read a book for pleasures within this year? Okay, so how many did you have, Philip? Yeah. 8 books. Wow, amazing. Okay, two. Okay, yeah. Wow, I'm so impressed that you guys did better than I am. Okay, what do you think about in the future, in the next decades? Do you think there will be more or fewer people reading books for pleasure? More or fewer? Fewer. Why is that? People are addicted to phones. And we're getting busy. Yes. Reading, according to this report by New Yorker, the proportion of American people who read books fall from 26.3% of the population in 2003 to 95% in 2016. And according to this survey done by United Daily News Group in Taiwan, it says that 32 of the respondents has not read any hard copy book within 3 years, and 19 has not read any within 10 years. So reading is dying, and reading is boring and time consuming, and the advent of internet and social media like phone, and our preference to short information chunk. If I can get specific information I need with a click on the internet, why reading a book? If I can get the key message from the headline or subtitle, why reading a book? If I can watch soap opera for entertainment and kill time, why do I need to read a book? So, why reading books for pleasure is so important? I have 4 reasons. Number 1, reading provides us the source of more accurate knowledge, because in the publication of books, it goes through rigorous professional procedures, so the knowledge is more accurate, and knowledge gives you the sense of power and freedom. Number 2, reading enriches our language and communication skill. As a reader, you learn the vocabulary and the strategy to write a good story. Number 3, reading involves sustained attention and improve our concentration power. Number 4, the last one, reading builds up our analytical and critical thinking, because every book is offer a comprehensive and in-depth discussion on a specific topic. How do we rekindle our reading habit? Back to the date, July 4th in 2009, a friend of mine recommended this book, this website to me, audible.com, and immediately I signed in as a regular member of this group. I pay $15 every month and I will get 1 credit, and with each credit I can download an audio book from a selection of 200,000 books, audio books, from rich different genres. What's the benefits of audio books? There are at least 3 of them. What do you think? The advantage of audio book. Anyone? Very good. And what else? First, it helps you to concentrate on listening. You pay attention to the narrator's pronunciation, stress, and intonation. And especially, these linguistic cues offer non-native listener the linguistic cues so that you know what's going on. You don't even need to look up the dictionary. Language start its life with listening instead of reading. Okay. Number 2, as Tomasz has said, reading, audiobooks save a good deal of time. You can listen while you are walking, cooking, or driving, anything. Okay, except for swimming. Okay. And number 3, it improves your memory and attention span. While listening, and once you are distracted, you get lost. So you really need to focus and memorize, try to remember the names of the character, the sequence of events, and those characteristics, so that you don't get lost. Okay, so with all these advantages, okay, and also for listeners who prefer visual input, Audible.com offer a new technology, Whisper Sync. So what is that about? It allows the user to easily switch between the audio version versus the ebook version. The ebook version is like the conventional book, except that it is in the digital format. So how does that work? Let's say I was on my audio book and listening to this. And then I stop at page 47. And the next time when I continue to listen, I can choose to listen to the ebook version. And when the ebook version starts, it will start right at where I left off on the audio version. Also, when you turn on the whispering sync, the text and the voice will go together simultaneous. So let me show you how it works. Okay, this book is called Into the Thin Air. So when I click on this one, you'll start to read. So I can listen to it, and I can also read the text. The words and the sounds go together simultaneous. And when I flip over the page, when I do it forward or backward, oops, the voice and the text will be combined together simultaneous. It has other features like highlighting or note-taking and a built-in dictionary and word-wise function. So with all these features, I managed to read how many books? 60 books, okay, from then to now. Okay, I truly believe that reading books provide a source of more accurate knowledge, and knowledge gives you the sense of power and freedom. And reading enrich our language and communication skill, because reading involves sustained attention and improve our concentration power. So it helps to build up analytical and critical thinking. And with the help of audiobooks, it helps to concentrate on listening. It saves us a great deal of time. It improves our memory and attention span. So, my dear friend, make reading as part of your everyday life. Thank you for your attention.